Thank you. I'd like to open our meeting with a big welcome to our two new board members. We have Rebecca Hussey and John Schmucker. Welcome. I'm going to take a minute just to go around and everybody just say your name so that they can put part of a face. It'll take a while. So you don't feel lost. Secretary.
Judy Schlemmer.
Tim Murphy.
Jim Bethel, I'm president of Friends.
Linda Curtis.
Connie Townsend. Okay, and of course you all know me and you all know Megan now, so we're very pleased to have you both. So thank you for joining us tonight. At any point, if you have a question, just raise your hands or stop me, okay? Okay, I see no public input on our agenda. I have no correspondence and announcements. The next thing on our agenda is approval of the minutes for January 24th. Did everybody have a chance to read the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of January 24th.
Thank you, Linda. Connie, second. I see one correction under present. It's Jan Petzel, not Jen Petzel, but.
Sorry, Jan.
You changed it.
I think you did.
I'm changing it now on the new one.
Okay, any other discussion on the minutes? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Which would be John and Rebecca.
No, I'm sorry.
Till next month. Till next month. Thank you. Okay, treasurer report to you.
Okay, did everyone get an opportunity to look at the treasurer's report? You'll notice under our library board, there's the first top line item that talks about a deposit from Duracell for $500. We were very excited at first. We thought this was money towards our fundraiser. It turned out that it was a clerical error. Somebody chose the wrong account on the Duracell side. They were supposed to be paying some taxes to the town of Bethel. So it came into our account because they had our information from having donated to us in the past. So somebody just clicked on that. So while it's there, you will see next month, you'll see a reversal out of that. But that's why that was there. Other than that, we are starting now to, we've got under our grants, our ARPA grant is in, as well as, doing a lot of stuff with our library operations, where we're going to be spending out more on various projects, and you'll see a flurry of that in the next couple of months. So if we look at the, excuse me for a second, because I got to go back and pull up the encumbrances. So out of the encumbrances, one of the things that you'll notice under the first account there, which is the library director's account, we had in there a line item for the scholarship committee or our scholarship funds. That has now gone into our general funds for that account, and we'll be choosing how we want to utilize those in the next couple of, as we go through time and as we go into more and more of our projects. Let me see. Yeah, so you can see with the ARPA grant, the last account there, we've got those monies encumbered for the teamwork that we'll be doing. So once again, like I said, you'll be seeing more and more of those dollars coming in over time. Any questions?
So Tia, for two of us from you, I don't understand there's a large amount for teen prevention grants.
That's that we got a grant from the
Friends.
we did.
But
Well,
our
the Friends got the library cannot, we are not a non-for-profit organization, we're a government. So if we apply for a grant, it goes through the Friends,
Got it.
and then the Friends write us a check for that, and then it's in there. But it's encumbered for specific work for teen-oriented programming and for
Yeah, I'll go over that in the director's
yeah,
report.
Megan will go into more detail on that.
What the grant exactly was for.
Yeah, well,
Yes,
we
so
can
we'll
talk
just-
about that, but
Thanks.
it is a large amount of money and it will be coming in tranches over time.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, so without any questions, can I have a motion to accept our treasurer's reports as submitted?
I made a motion.
Okay, great. Second, Ms. Connie? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, Tia. That was nice and easy, huh? You did a good job. Robin, welcome. I see that you've joined us. Jan, Friends of the Library.
We have been busy bees, I'll tell you. The Friends are joining the Chamber of Commerce, the Bethel Chamber of Commerce. We are buying a 4-page congratulations ad in my high school yearbook for this year. And we are waiting for the next bunch of money to come in to pass on to you. That'll be coming along. We have made some changes in our officers. We were short a treasurer and nobody was really interested in stepping up to that until Diane Golden agreed to step out of being vice president and membership and step into being our treasurer. And she's great. Everything is looking so much better. We have 2 new members at large. One is Margaret Bang, and she had started after the first of the year. And the other one who just started is Kevin Skia, who has a background in marketing and is interested in stepping up and doing some marketing of the Friends. And I think it's going to be a nice group of people. We're still meeting in a hybrid fashion and probably will need to do that because Kevin is working at the time we have our meetings. But that's better. We bought the liquor license, so actually Megan is taking care of that end of it, but we'll be repaying her. So you have nothing to worry about. Okay, wonderful. So that's about it.
So just to make it clear, the liquor license is for the golf event. It's not for the board of directors.
Well, talk to Megan.
For us after. Nice try. Thank you, Jan.
You're welcome.
It sounds like Friends has come together
Yeah.
nicely this past month. I'm happy for you. Okay. That's me. Megan, do you have the committees to put up? Our bylaws state that all board members must serve on 2 committees. It's just the way the bylaws have been. Some people serve on 3. But this is the new list for next year. Everybody really stayed on the same committees they were on. And Rebecca and John filled in the spots. So if anybody is unhappy, just let me know. We can certainly work with you. And I also want to say that everyone is welcome to serve on every committee if they want to. It doesn't mean that because your name's not there that you can't be part of it. So we would welcome as much involvement as everyone wants to get. But these are the assignments for next year, and we will email it to you this week so you have it for your records. Okay, any questions? Anybody unhappy that I know of, other than you, Robin, and you're still chair of development?
I'm good with that, I'm fine, but
It starts this year, so
so
this is for 2022.
so like these guys can come to tomorrow's development.
If they want to. Certainly. Nice try. If you're available, we'll get there. Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay, and then I also want to bring you up to date on our budget. Megan and I have been busy, right, since we saw you last. We met with First Selectman Matt Knickerbocker and Brad Herring, our controller. We presented our case for our legal fees to be part of the town legal fees, and they were both supportive with our arguments. And we feel pretty confident that the town is going to take our legal costs and put them on the town side of the budget. So this is a big breakthrough for us because we just don't have the money. as you all know.
Can you explain for the benefit of these folks why we have legal fees?
We have legal fees because for the first time, we have a new union of library employees. It's 2 years old, right?
3 years.
It will be
At the
three.
end of this year, at the end of this June.
Right. And it's time, we will be negotiating again shortly. And quite frankly, legal fees are high. We have a wonderful lawyer, John Shea, but it's expensive. And we found the money in the previous years because we had, with COVID and everything else, we had some staff positions that we didn't fill. The library budget is a bottom line budget, so we can move money around. We're like the schools, so we're the only 2 accounts in town that can do that. But quite frankly, we don't have the money for legal fees. So, so this is a big breakthrough. Let's hope this budget goes through.
Congratulations.
Well, when do we have it?
Fingers crossed right now. Yeah, still have.
And it's, you still have a lot of hours between the two of you, right? I mean, who actually steps into the library? I know you, Mary, and Megan, both you guys.
At every meeting they are.
Okay.
Yeah, so then, on February 1st, we presented our budget to the Board of Finance. Megan did a phenomenal job charming them, and I think they were very receptive. We were last on the agenda like always. And by then I think they wanted to go home, and yeah, I don't know whether that works good for us or it doesn't, but anyway, I think she did a great job. Then on the 15th, we went to the meeting where the selectmen deliberate the budget. And they did not cut our budget, so we were happy, but not quite there. Then on the 22nd, we went to the Board of Finance meeting. They did deliberate, and again, they did not touch our budget. So far, we are golden with every penny that we're asking for. As we all know, it's a very fair budget. It's not a ridiculous budget, so hopefully it goes through. So I just would like to ask you all to put the public hearing on your calendar if you're available. It's March 21st at the middle school. Because that is the night where people can ask for cuts and people can talk to the Board of Finance about making changes. So hopefully it will be a positive evening. What time did you say? I don't know, but we'll email you when it gets closer. We'll send you all out.
Is it Zoom also or just in present?
I'm sorry.
Is it Zoom or just
I
hybrid?
don't know, because they haven't announced it yet, but
The
probably.
last time they did a meeting at one of the auditoriums, they were unable to do it hybrid. So I don't think we can answer that yet, because that's a little bit more complicated.
Okay, so that's all I have. For tonight, I'll move on to our director, Megan Dean.
So any questions first on the statistics? We are so excited. People counter is tough because most of our programs are hybrid now or on Zoom. So a lot of our people coming in the building with the programs, pre-COVID, we would have 60 people for a story time daily. And now we're limited to 12. So it's going to take us a while to get that number back up. However, meeting spaces are being utilized regularly to the point where we are having to come up with new alternative options. So that is helping. But everything is steadily moving along. So e-content, we haven't added anything new since we lost Acorn. But as you can see, it's not really doing a lot of damage to our statistics. We are looking to add a new streaming service. Some of you might have heard of Canopy. It's a movie streaming service, so I believe that's coming in the next month. I'm very happy to say in the children's department, we are up from 18-19 was our best year prior to COVID. So I'm happy to say that we are now exceeding 18-19 numbers. So that's a real accomplishment for us. And I think it speaks very highly to the work that's being done by the youth services staff. They're really encouraging people to check out materials, see some new things we have, put out displays. So I think we're seeing the effects of that now. Then next, please. Any questions on? every time I go to click it, the screen shifts. So it's one last time, and I'm just gonna ask you questions. Okay, any questions on the spending report?
Are your titles correct on the second one? Second grouping, you want to do 219, 220? And that third column?
Oh, no, I don't.
I thought so.
Thank you.
Any,
Any questions about the information?
Well, the only question I have, Megan, is that you look at your spend on materials and so forth on content. Obviously, there's a percentage that 58% is like spread out over the 12 months. So we're at this period of time, 7 months, we're at 58%. But the content, which is growing in the library,
Yes.
the number spent is significantly lower than that 58%. It's because you haven't spent it yet, you lost acorn.
So it's because we spend in increments. So
Okay.
we apply money to the account in either $5,000 or $8,000 increments.
Okay.
So typically, you'll see a large jump every quarter to that, that allotment. Also too, because we lost one of our streaming services. So streaming services are very fickle, they come and go. Specifically, this Overdrive, who's probably the largest content service, seems to absorb all these smaller companies. So last year we had Acorn, which was extremely popular. It showed British movies and TV shows. And then Overdrive purchased the Acorn, or acquired Recorded Books catalog, which was part of Acorn. Recorded Books had access to Acorn. So what happened was Overdrive said you can still have these materials, but you have to pay for copyright. Whereas before, it was pay to use. So if you chose to use Acorn app 1 week, it was one fee for the week. Overdrive says, no, we want you to pay per show or per movie you watch. So we had to eliminate that because that wasn't sustainable for us. So now when we acquire Canopy, you're gonna see that number jump up again. So a lot of these categories typically don't match the percentage except for salaries for the year to year.
The digital content is going like this.
Yes, well, also too is some of the smaller, so Hoopla is a streaming service we
Right.
use. And that one's great because it's not tied to copyright, it's tied to usage or title.
Mhm.
So with that one, they've been very understanding during COVID of the needs, so they started doing more free services throughout the year where certain books are unlimited access at one set rate, or they'll open up different areas of content that we don't typically pay for people to try. So it's allowed for our statistics to go up without the fee going up. Yeah. So you will see a jump though. in the next one,
Canopy is
too.
used a lot on the West Coast. My son has it on the West Coast.
Yes. We, the 3 years ago, we brought it to Acorn. We had done an evaluation between Acorn and Canopy and found that based on the content in both of those apps, the majority of titles that were being circulated were really in Acorn as opposed to Canopy. But since Acorn is no longer available, we started looking at other libraries in the country to see what other streaming services were available. And we really found there's not much. Canopy really is the next big one. So we're going to try that out and see how it goes. We're going to put a little bit of money in it to start and see if people are accepted to it.
That's per month, not per usage.
No, that is per usage.
It is per usage. Okay, thank you.
Director's report. So the AARP tax aid is at this point full. Every so often an appointment opens up if somebody cancels, but we're no longer promoting it because we don't have spaces available.
Could you add more in the future? That's so popular.
We don't have the ability to.
It's by the volunteer, correct?
Yes,
Number
number of
of
volunteers and number of hours they can come. So they come 1 day a week and they provide appointments from 10 to 1, I believe, but they're typically here well past 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because not all appointments take an hour. Oftentimes they'll have to call people back. So they don't always remember documentation. So it is a long day for them. So I don't think there's the ability to add more appointments. The other problem just is that last year, not a lot of and Tia, please correct me if I'm incorrect on any of this. During COVID last year, it was very hard to open up tax aid stations.
Right.
We were one of the few locations that was equipped to do so. So this year coming back, we were more than capable of bringing in the service. However, other facilities we're not as fully prepared, plus there were not as many volunteers this year. So what happened is I believe Fairfield was unable to open theirs this year, so a lot of their residents were sent to us, and we can't restrict who uses the service.
Tia, weren't you on ARP for Connecticut?
Yeah, I'm the president, state president for
Still are?
ARP. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Thanks, but the thing with the tax aid was that we lost a lot of our volunteers who were unable to. ARP has some internal requirements about meeting in person, and there were particular requirements that the tax aid volunteers had to meet, as well as the facility had to meet. And in a lot of places, those two things did not come together particularly easily. We accommodated and we did a lot to ensure that, but a lot of other places could not. And a lot of the volunteers either opted out or were no longer available.
A great service.
It is a great service, and foundation does it as well as, the ARP Foundation, and the IRS fully supports us. So that's, I mean, those people are as experienced as somebody like an H&R Block or somebody of that. So you're getting a free service on the caliber that is a national standard. So for tax reporting.
Thank you.
Why doesn't the senior center offer this? Why doesn't the senior center?
I'll take that one.
Okay.
The senior center doesn't have the same capabilities we do. So it was at the senior center originally, but it's a little more complicated with appointments. They don't have software like we do. We also have a full-time staff in the building who can assist. So Lisa came to us.
No, I know we've been doing it.
2 or 3 years
At
ago.
least 3 years ago, asking if she could move the program over here. So we accepted, and we already have event keeper, which is a scheduling software, so we were able to very quickly make appointments for people, and the staff that can follow up. So we thought it was great for us to be able to bring people who don't typically come to the library, and because they can't be in the room for the appointment, they use the building, they check things out.
Makes sense,
So,
of course. Yeah. So it's totally our program. It's not a senior center program.
yes, well, it's totally tax aid program.
Well, it's
Well,
tax aid
yeah.
program, and frankly, a lot of the tax aid folks found that libraries were much easier to open up and to utilize than senior centers were, especially in some of the towns like ours, where the senior center is not as robust from a service provisional perspective. So libraries became the preferred venue for tax aid.
So hiring, we are done interviewing. We had over 20 candidates, had a full variety of candidates. I was hoping to make an announcement this evening, but there are just a few little details that need to be finished. So hopefully by the end of the week, I will be able to share some very good news with all of you.
What is the position?
So we have 2 part-time positions that we're hiring for. They're both library assistants. One is in the youth department and the other one is in marketing. The Rfid project is on schedule. I'm very excited to say it's on schedule. We have tagged half of the children's section at this point. The goal is to get the other half tagged by the end of March. We're going to be working on large print and teen starting mid-month. So what this is it's creating a unique ID in each one of our items in the library, so that way people, when they use self-checkout, it will quickly scan their items. It'll allow us to improve inventory, so we'll be able to find lost materials quicker. We're hoping that it'll just create ease of access for the public.
That's outgoing. Is there technology to take it ingoing?
There is, but we haven't made that investment yet. We want to wait until everything is tagged and until we've got a nice smooth service running. The concern is with bringing in ingoing service before everything is tagged. It's very easy to make mistakes because then you have to watch and make sure every item that's not tagged doesn't go through the system and not get checked in.
Yeah, I was referring to the future, like make it easier to take bundle books, just scan through and feed it back in inventory. Is
So
that
That is a possible, that is on the next goal. But we're probably 18 months away from that.
Do you know the approximate cost?
Well, we already have pads for doing that with the equipment we have. So with the equipment we have, we already have the capability of doing large stacks.
Right.
The staff will not be instructed to do that until the tagging of library is done. So roughly 12 to 18 months, hopefully 12. They do make a system for, which I believe I showed all of you, for where you can put the materials through the go drop outside. You're looking at about 30 grand for that. That's a rough estimate. Depending on how much you want to expand. For right now, because of the setup, because it goes into a closet, it's a bit challenging. So it would just be checking in everything, sorted. The goal is to get there. We're just waiting. Some of the systems, they only update their equipment every 4 or 5 years, more so like 5 years. And right now, a lot of them are on the tail end of their check-in system. So when you want to invest in something that's about to be updated, so we'd rather wait till the next round comes out. But right now, we can do in-house checking of large items.
I think it's great.
It is.
It's really great.
They have some systems we've been watching demos for, where when you put them into the machine for check-in, there's a computer screen that tells you each item that has being checked in. So if you feel like you missed something, you can hit a button and it'll send it back out to you, so you can make sure that what you put in is correct. It's very impressive.
It's great.
And I'm gonna skip right to the team programming grant first. We had an opportunity to apply for a 2-year grant, then I say we as a library and friends together. That was $75,000 a year. We've been guaranteed the first year. The second year, I believe we're getting, but it hasn't been confirmed yet in writing. So it's called the Teen Violence Prevention Grant, but it's trying to be rebranded as a teen programming grant, with the idea of getting teens off the street and into community groups where they have activities they can do and get some life skills and development. So this, for the first $75,000, the friend in the library decided to invest in redeveloping the teen area, making it more friendly, desirable place to be. Also in expanding our project lab equipment so we can offer more technology programming, and also in programming itself. So April, May, and June, we're going to be doing a programming series based on life skills, getting ready to go off to college or to go out to the world at a job. So we're looking at basic auto mechanics, like owning your first car, managing money, cooking, understanding healthcare and what it means to not have your parents make a doctor's appointment for you, how to find a doctor, things like that. So
Are there canned programs for this? You say programming. I didn't understand the word program. You're talking about program, you're talking about specifically designed programs for teenagers to pass into adulthood by knowing practical skills.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
in
great.
the library, you very rarely, when we say programming, mean computer programming.
Got it.
It's
What you're
very-
saying is there like, so where do you get the classes? Like, is it a pre-designed class?
So
Those
Like if you
things?
did
Or you're
finance
bringing in
for kids, like
professionals?
basic finance.
we're bringing in professionals,
Bringing-
we're paying professionals.
Okay.
So we actually hold classes. That's great. I taught a course on personal finance for college students. Westcom. So.
This seems a
It's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare.
Don't even know how to sign their names.
No, I'm shocked by it.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's something that they really have to know. And they get into college, and this is the college level, and they have no idea about personal
Yep.
budget. They didn't know how much money they borrowed.
Yep.
They didn't know how much they were going to pay when they got out of
Yep.
school. It was a nightmare. So
Yeah.
that was one of the things I taught for a short period of time. was that.
That's something we definitely feel we need. We're also resumes, getting the resume ready. Interview skills, those are another one that we're looking at doing a series on Monday, I believe Mondays. Everything's being finalized over the next 2 weeks. So what I say now could change, but as of last week's meeting, Mondays is going to be getting ready for college, getting ready for interviews, evaluating job prospects. Then the weekends is where we'll do more of the development skills. Cooking, cleaning, all the stuff that you don't think about to go ahead done by somebody else.
I want to pre-reserve a spot in cleaning class. 2-year-old son. That's great.
Well,
You can use that.
So the flex program is tied into that. We've started offering technology classes for the flex program at the high school. So it's a special class for kids who may have some developmental things that need to be addressed. So they come in on Fridays, typically every week. Staff rotate through, so they all get experience working with them, and they run programming. So we're introducing some of our new equipment to them. It helps give us a feel for what kinds of stuff kids are interested in. And what's great is now we're seeing them come into the library after school. So some of the equipment that comes in over the next couple of months, we'll be using with them first to develop lesson plans and programs. So right now, we've received quotes for 2 3D printers. One would be a commercial level printer. The other would be with more of a standard printer that you typically find in a home or things like that. So kids can practice on a low grade printer, and then as they develop their skills, they have the ability to print something of a higher quality, which would be done by staff. Then we are looking at laser engravers. We have 2 right now we're interested in. I'm trying to be very careful though what we select. While we have the funding, we also need to make sure we have the manpower to maintain this equipment. So I have some staff who are very excited about one product, but I feel the Glow Forge, if any of you are familiar with that, seems like the best choice for the library. So I think that's the direction we're going to go in.
These all require software and software training too.
Yeah.
These days, software is kind of critical.
Well, we have staff in place who are, some staff already have some of this stuff or have used it, so we're very lucky that right now we have a very strong staff for that. Our main concern is more ventilation, making sure we have proper air purifiers in place, making sure it's well ventilated. So before the purchasing is finalized, we're working with the companies to make sure our spaces meet the.
It's amazing we're talking about 3D printers in the library.
Well, we
We
currently,
had one.
yeah, we currently
Well, I know
have,
you do, but I mean,
but
it's, you think historically,
we're not just books.
it's great. It's great.
So, any questions, on any of this?
So you think that we will find out for sure about the next portion of the team programming in the next couple of months?
Yeah.
For next year? Yes. Is it calendar or fiscal?
It's fiscal.
Okay.
Now, we have a lot to spend very quickly.
Yeah.
Because the first grant was from July through June. We didn't get notified till January.
Right.
So, but we have a great designer we're working with right now. She already came in, measured out the teen space, and we gave her a 5-year plan for the space. Because right now, one of our biggest issues is, I'm sure you're all familiar, or most of you are familiar with the teen furniture, the pod seating upstairs. We brought that in, we're like, oh, adults will never want to sit in this, they don't like it. Adults came in and complained, oh, I hope you're not gonna do this on our side of the room. Well, now our big problem is all adults, especially the seniors, want to sit in the teen chairs now. And we can't get them out, so we don't really want to. So we're looking at the space and figuring out a way to make it work. Taking out the bookcases in the center, putting teen on one side, and then making a transitional space where the furniture slowly changes from futuristic to traditional. So you have your hangout section where the windows are, and then more of a workspace in the center, and then a quiet study area on the far side. Next year, 75,000. Part of that will be used in all this plan to put in modular meeting rooms. So we'll be able to create that quiet side. So we did find a company we really like that doesn't have ceilings on the modular units, because that's a big problem. When you have ceilings on the modular units, so you have to have sprinkler system connected. So we found a system where it has no ceiling to it, so it does not cover the sprinkler system. So we are excited about that, looking into that now.
So it's like the
There's
inner
no partition.
classrooms of the high school.
I think, yes.
Yeah. They can take out the walls and make one big room.
Yeah, and then we like these because they're adjustable, so we can, 'cause we're not gonna know, the needs that we have now are not gonna be the needs we have in 3 years. So we don't wanna put anything in that we're then locked into or unable to change later on, or it doesn't work.
So two questions. One, who wrote the grant? Two, where did it come from?
So the grant came from the Department of Justice.
Great.
Federal.
Federal.
Yes. All the funds came through the state.
Right.
And then the grant was 1 page. There wasn't much to it.
Okay.
So it was done, the friends and I worked on it together.
Congratulations.
We'll learn Megan does a lot.
Really good.
With lots of help.
And
Lots and lots of help.
like any grant, there's a lot of reporting that goes
Yes.
with it.
Correct.
So that's, and there's timing. So just so everybody understands, because you're gonna see a whole bunch of stuff, the grant, you guys may do, you haven't seen this, but on the grant portion of our treasurer's report, it's been sort of sleepy, it's kind of there, and we spend some dollars there as needed, but because of the way, and the timing of this, you're going to see a lot of accelerated expenses coming through, all allocated and encumbered and accounted for, but you're gonna see that section is gonna be big because there's just a lot of, there's a lot of things that are coming through, and the ARPA grant.
That's spent, so that money will not be. in our report next month.
No, it is.
Oh, it's very exciting.
It's great.
But the interesting thing is it was federal money that came to the state, and then our state representative made us aware that there was monies, and a lot of other libraries, if I can just say this, did not take advantage of that. We looked at it and said, this is money, this can accommodate some of the, the things that we're looking to do. And so if we can do it within the bounds of what they're trying to accomplish and what we're trying to accomplish, is a good match. And again, the Friends are a 501c3. I get all those numbers and letters confused. 501c3 organization, so they can apply for it, and then those dollars they apply for it on our behalf. We can't apply for that because we do not have that designation, which is.
But we write the check.
And they write the check to us, then we disperse the funds. If that makes sense.
No, I get that.
Yeah, so it's a really nice hand in glove kind of situation, but thanks to the Friends for doing that, because it's some work on their end as well.
I just think it's very exciting.
It's
And
exciting.
to see the teen program
Yeah.
really open up here is, to me, a really important thing to do.
And once again, that goes back to a lot of what we're trying to do here at the library. We're not just a library, as you're seeing, we are also a community center, and we are looking for how do we meet the needs of our larger, population here in our community. So for all the different demographic segments, we want to have as much programming and capabilities and facilities for people of all ages and abilities to be able to utilize, because we are sort of the heartbeat, I think, of the town. I'll get off my soapbox.
So if no one else has any questions for me,
Well, I just want to say that teens are hard to reach, and if you approach them with things that they need and want to learn, then you really got it. And I think this is one of the.
well, I have to laugh since we got the grant over, it's like they knew they don't came back. The teen rooms are very busy, and we're trying to readjust staff to handle our newfound teens. But yeah, I think that, we're on track.
case you don't skip.
And we have some carryover into the bookseller now too.
One step at a time.
He's starting to come
I can't
down.
harder than yet. All right. Robin, do you have any questions? No, you're okay? Okay, just jump in if you do.
All right. Development.
Oh, I'm so sorry, I got,
Are we done?
no. Okay, so a while back, I had you all vote on requiring the staff to keep masks on when the town went through their mask mandate. As most of you may know, the school is no longer requiring masks, which was one of our arguments as to why we wanted to create a safe space for kids. So tonight we need to make a decision about the masks mandate we put in place for staff. We have three options. We can continue the mask mandate for another month and see if cases go up. Now that kids don't have to wear them. And I would encourage staff to continue to wear their masks and keep signage up throughout the building. And the third option is we lift our mask mandate and take down the signage. Any discussion? How we all feel?
Well, the town has lifted, correct?
They lifted a while
The
ago.
town has lifted, so, but I know that still in the senior center, there are still, a lot of people are wearing their masks. So I don't know what the senior population is coming in.
Well, what's interesting is, I would say more than half of our patients wear their masks. Although a good number of them wear them because we wear them. So they come in without their mask on, see us, and we don't have to say anything, they just put their mask on. So when our masks come off, I'm sure the number of people coming in will put masks on.
Like, how does the staff feel about it? I would say it's 50-50 split.
What did you say?
I'm sorry, yeah, 50-50 probably. I haven't surveyed them in a while, but you can tell who's starting to double up their masks or is being very conscious, and those who pass on a regular basis.
Can I ask how you feel about it? Putting you on the spot.
You can put me on the spot, certainly. I don't know. You know, I just sent my two kids to school today and they both wear a mask all day. I didn't tell them to, they just did. So I'm used to it.
Can we put it in their hands, their staff, their adults? If they
Yeah,
want to wear a
that's your
mask,
option B. I
Yeah.
kind of go for option B,
I
like,
would agree.
we don't want to, I mean, since the mask mandate's been lifted everywhere else, we don't want people to feel coming into the library like, wow, this is the one place I have to wear it. Why is
Well, no,
that?
we've already, it's already optional for the public.
Oh, for the public, so this
Yes,
is for the
the
staff.
only place we require the public to wear masks right now is in story time. But that's because,
There's
so
young
close.
children, right?
well, and we can't, the little kids
Unvaccinated.
don't wear, we don't require the little kids to wear masks. One, it's not required, but it was never required by the government. The other just is we never have story. We never. So what we do is we ask the parents to, so that way they can move around with the children and they're not trying to keep 6 feet from each other or 4 feet.
Do you think that the parents that, I mean, not the parents, the staff that's double masking is going to be freaked out and unhappy if you?
I think they understand the decision is coming. Now, we're very aware. I think some of the staff are going to continue with the mask.
I think with that they're adults and they should make choices if that's what the real world is doing.
And a side note to that is, I am going to start removing plexiglass. So I just want to make you all clear in case they come to you saying that the masks have been lifted, but you're also taking the plexiglass down. The plexiglass served its purpose. However, it is hard to hear people. It is hard to see people. I watched the staff member slam their hand into it last week, trying to hand back a library card. It's, yes. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that, in case we do receive complaints, that we lifted the masks and the plexiglass down, but at the end of the day, the plexiglass.
if it's in an area where somebody is a little concerned, will you leave the plexiglass up for them? If a staff member, like if they're,
It's really all or nothing.
Okay.
I mean, there's a big structure.
a choice. If they want to wear a mask, they can. If they want to wear double, they can.
I think one of the problems is, when the town itself, for the town itself, we're an entity of the town, it's this confusion between different places that causes people all these problems. They don't know they walk in or not, they hear one thing, have this, I'm triple vaccinated, by the way, so, but I do feel that would be the best solution, but.
I personally would prefer that the town and the schools keep their mask mandate. That said, I think it makes sense for the library to fall in line with it.
So does someone want to make a motion?
I make a motion that the library go along with the town.
Well, just make a motion to no longer require staff to wear masks. Yeah, because for masks, we've never had to align with the town. The library's always been considered separate, and the town has left us to our decision, so we want to just.
So then I make a motion that the library no longer requires people to wear masks.
Staff, motion was made to no patrons don't have to right now.
For staff. No longer.
Can we put a start date for this as the next Monday? Can we make a start date as of next Monday?
Sure.
Just to give the staff who are uncomfortable with trying to mentally prepare for this.
So that would be
If the staff member wanted to wear one.
Well, they're absolutely allowed to.
So that's the 7th.
So that would be
Monday,
effective
March
March 7th, right?
Excuse me, I'd like to amend that motion and just add the clause, but encourage anyone who wants to wear a mask to do so. I mean, I think we need to let people know that we really would like to feel safe. So could you read that back?
Yeah. Are no longer required. But are encouraged. Are encouraged to wear one
If they so desire. I can do it.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Motion was made as of Monday, March 7 for staff. Nope, that's not proper with proper English. Hold on. Monday, March 7, that staff are no longer required to wear a mask, but are encouraged to wear one if they so desire.
Second? I'll second. Robin, second. Any more discussion? Robin, you okay with it? Good.
Yeah.
All those in favor of our motion on the floor? say aye.
Hi.
Abstain? Thank you. Thank you. We're all on the same page. I think that was the last thing. Yep, that's it.
Now we get to talk about
Okay,
mini
so now,
golf.
Robin, it's all
All
yours.
right.
We've all been waiting.
Yeah, I've all been waiting. I'm so excited. So this is our last meeting as a full board before our mini golf event. All right, so we have, let's see, where do we start? We've sold all the holes on our course, plus 2 additional, so we've done very well with selling our mini golf holes. We have, do you have those?
I have 2 left.
Okay, so we have packets for everybody. I guess only 2 of you still haven't done one.
I've been walking around, so.
I think mine up is that.
So the packages include some tickets. You know, every board member gets 1 free ticket, but then there are extra tickets in here. We would love for you to try to sell them to your friends and family. This is the time. Do you want more? Aha, we were hoping you'd say that.
Just as a side note, you're not getting a physical ticket.
Right,
If you're a board member, your entry is free.
right.
So sell the ticket.
Sell the ticket that's in there. So everyone should get like a whole bunch of tickets. And yeah, we're asking you to really sell them so people know. And tell them that it's going to be a fun event, right? So, what else? So Linda has been so amazing in selling polls that I think she is the non-committee member who sold most polls. So I'm gonna give you these in a little bit, like, or later, to bring to these two sponsors, that they get tickets as well. Every poll sponsor gets 2 tickets. So ticket sales are not where we want them to be, so we really need you guys to like push these tickets. Use your Facebook pages and social media and Twitter, and whatever you use to promote this as much as you can.
And I put our newsletter is coming out, and I put a column in there
Oh,
about the mini golf and encourage people to go ahead and get tickets.
That's great. And the public schools have been great. Megan had sent them a flyer. The public schools cannot promote our Friday night mini golf event because we're serving liquor. But they can promote the Saturday afternoon event, right? Or did you take it?
No, we sent the flyer with both the Friday and the Saturday.
Okay,
We just can't mention liquor or any distributors of liquor.
okay. So that is, I am seeing that, because I have, like, public schools now, I'm seeing in the newsletter from both the high school and the, you have business school.
John said it, in the Johnson newsletter.
Okay, good, that's awesome. And it's in the, they just changed the format of the public school one that goes to everyone. So I'm hoping that people are still seeing it, because now you kind of have to click on it, see it, which kind of stinks for us, although I have to say like new formats.
Yeah, I actually read it this time, so.
I did too. It's like, oh, wow, you listened to our survey. So anyway, so that's that. We do have some flyers, I guess, if anyone wants flyers, I think, do we have them?
I gave every package thing with a couple flyers.
Oh, okay, so you have, so flyers will be on your thing. So the day of the event, which is Friday, the 18th, we are asking that all board members be here for that event. To help out and to work. So your free ticket.
Is it really
Not
free?
so free, is it?
It's a lot easier than it used to be.
It is
So
much easier.
So,
We got rid of raffles, so no more putting together baskets. and dealing with-
we're doing silent auction.
I know, but
The cash basket.
but we're not putting them together.
Okay.
And
I'm pretty.
are you?
Yeah, it needs to
I
be
thought
dropped off to
you
me,
put
so I
together.
guess
I
if
will-
someone is.
I will help you.
Thank you.
So we're doing a silent auction. We have about 6 auction items. So
Well, actually, no, they're gonna put it together and make it one, and
okay,
it's gonna be the kids one,
okay.
because it's a big stuff there.
So yeah, so we have the silent auction items, so that's pretty easy to set up. As you know, the mini golf company comes in with all the greens, so they set that up. ROTC comes in with a whole bunch of kids. They're coming that Friday around 3 o'clock. They're gonna start setting all that up. We're asking board members, except those on the committee, to come in at 5:30. Because last time we did this, there was a lot of standing around. It definitely did. And I think it's more important that everybody is also here at the end of the event. So it ends at 9 o'clock. We're asking you to expect to be here until 10. But if everyone pulls their weight, we can certainly be out of here earlier. Because it's not like the old days of the wine tasting event. All of this is just gonna stay, except for the liquor has to go and hand washing stations and food and all of that stuff. But the golf course stays. And then the next, yes,
So, with the, I wasn't here last time you did, what kind of what should we be wearing? Because when we did wine tasting, it was more of a, upscale-y kind of.
It's not really upscaling.
But it doesn't feel like that, so it's like business casual.
Yeah, I would say,
Probably.
yeah, I think that we're gonna have are we gonna have our name tag things that we wear that say that we're board members?
Your decision, you just let me know.
Sue's shaking her head.
I don't like that.
I don't like
Yeah,
tags.
last
I don't
time
like being
people-
tagged either.
People were dressed. Well, some of them.
No, I'm talking about us as.
No, that's what I mean is,
Oh,
well, no, the last time, but we're serving, there is a lot of going up and down the stairs in the elevator for this, retrieving clubs, balls, wine glasses. So I found myself, I probably spent the whole night going up and downstairs.
Yeah.
So I would suggest comfortable shoes for
Okay.
everybody.
Okay.
And
What you have to do is like, as people are drinking, they kind of leave it on the stacks of books, so you have to go find the glass that's
Cleaning
left.
up.
Yeah.
That's why cleaning up will be.
Okay.
Yeah,
Essential.
well, that's why I want to make sure
Walking
at your library.
yeah, I mean, I want to make sure I understood.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not dressy, like, yeah, I think the wine tasting event was a much more fancy, I mean, this is like people are.
And you're playing.
The whole, yeah, there's definitely playing golf, I was doing it.
All the
I mean,
time.
don't wear your your four-inch stilettos.
Oh, come on.
They may
Finally.
have a,
And you don't need your golf spikes either.
I don't need my
In
what?
there. Golf cleats.
Oh, my cleats.
Yeah.
You don't know my what, Evan Club.
No.
They probably have.
Yeah, they probably do.
Okay.
this is the longest meeting we've had.
A long time, I know.
Get nervous, I know.
But it's not all my record. Okay, so,
Yes.
all right, so then Saturday, we really don't need anybody's help on Saturday, except, right, you, me, didn't we say that?
Maybe clean up.
Right.
Yeah, for
Yeah, the
cleanup,
last
yeah.
hour.
Right, so the last hour, right, on Saturday, if anyone wants to come, and I can't remember what that hour
4
is.
p.m.
4 to 5. 4 to 5, thank you. Okay, so that's all taken care of, we're all set up for food, we're all set up for liquor, and, I think that's it.
You want to tell them about the liquor? How you got that sorted? Yeah.
Okay, yes, so we got, so last time we did this, we had broken symmetry, but now I think with all the staffing shortages, they didn't want to be here. So I went to this Charter Oak Brewing Company, it's on Shelter Rock Road. Actually, Tia gave me a contact there, which is great. And he was super nice.
Was he?
Oh, he's such a nice guy.
Because our guys loved him.
Yeah, I thought it was a really nice guy. However, Charter Oak Brewing has been severely impacted by COVID. So he's not willing to give us any, but he is willing to sell it to us at a ridiculous reduced price and then 50 with us. So it ends up being like 85 cents for a can of beer. And one can should fill one of our little wine glasses about 3 times. So we're going to buy the beer from him, and we're going to staff the beer table ourselves the day of the event. And we'll also need people to staff the food tables, because we are moving. Last time we did this, we had almost all of the downstairs, but we're gonna do the food half and half upstairs and downstairs, so that we don't have long lines, make people feel more COVID safe. And so, Lisa will be here, but she won't be able to staff both.
And you don't have to work all night, like there'll be shifts.
Right, exactly. But we'll figure
I just
out
want
what
you to
you're
play ball.
doing. Like, when you get here, when we get here all at 5:30 that Saturday, you know, I was going to assign places, but like, if you have a thing you want to do, like, if you want to serve food, or if you want to be serving beer, if you want to do beer.
Yeah, our husbands are doing beer
Yeah,
also.
mine has-
They've already
he knows
said,
mine.
oh, beer, we'll do beer.
John's my next door neighbor, so. You know,
But for anyone who wasn't here last year, we clear up all the service desks, so the children's desk becomes the wine bar, the reference desk upstairs becomes the beer bar. Circulation's cleared off, and that's where
Golf clubs.
clubs,
I
balls,
think
and
we're gonna do
check-in
beer
is.
and wine together now.
We did them separate last year, and it worked out well, because it also separated out people who like
People.
Beer.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we can
And also too is because Johnson's in charge of wine, if it's all in one location, he can keep track of it. They make sure if we need more to take care of that, when we spread it out, it becomes more complicated to keep track. So it worked out really well last time, having in separate locations.
All right, well, I think that's it for that event. I mean, the big thing is be here at 5:30 on the 18th. And sell tickets. The big thing is sell tickets.
And we found out we have plenty of space. We have, when we spread it out between 2 floors, we have a lot of open space. You know,
Yes, so-
we did this last time, we were concerned about how many people we could fit in the building for mini golf. And I'm sure most of you remember, we were really well spread out.
It's, if people are asking questions about COVID
Yeah.
safety, then really let them know that, like, we could do shotgun starts at the holes. So like, some people will start at hole 1, but some people start at 5 or 8. So it's really easy to keep people spread out, and, you know, masks optional, but I think we can really reiterate.
Megan, so one last thing for marketing. Could you, I saw the post on Facebook.
Yes.
Could you repost on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook the
So,
second time?
Well, we actually have a schedule, so we
Sweet.
spotlight each business over the next 18 days. So starting, unfortunately, we can't start tomorrow because most of my marketing firm is off tomorrow.
Got it.
But starting Wednesday, each business gets their own post.
Got it.
So pretty much you're gonna be inundated with posts over the next 18 days.
Super.
Yeah.
Thanks. The Chamber of Commerce, did we notify that? Bethel
They
Chamber?
should know about it. We put also articles in the Gazette. We have press
So I haven't
releases.
seen it on the Chamber yet. That's a good source.
I couldn't tell you, I don't have the marketing schedule in front of me, but I know there's a slate of things.
Thanks
So
very
the
much.
other thing we had discussed in our committee, I think, I'm not sure if any questions for this, but Ted, Ted is there, and.
No, you don't.
No, okay. All right, if you have sold a hole and you, want to go back to the people who you sold the hole to and give them guidelines for decorating it, I have guidelines here. We're gonna ask that people come to decorate the hole starting at 3 o'clock and no later than 4:30. That's not on here, so you might want to handwrite that on here. That's most of it. And I think that's it. If you have questions, you can email me.
Or if anybody needs to drop for the whole, since we drop off stuff early, you just need to let me know so I can find a place to accommodate. Because we do have 1 hole right now or 2 dropping off early.
UK Gourmet is definitely dropping off early.
Yeah.
And maybe learning.
But yeah, I do need a heads up so that way they're prepared. Storage is not something we have a lot of here.
And you're closing the library early that day?
3 o'clock. However, we will be closing down some service desks earlier than that to start removing equipment. But we'll have 1 desk on each floor available. But a Friday at lunchtime, we're not. So, yeah.
All right, well,
Okay, Robin, thank
any
you.
other, if you have any questions. let me know. Tickets, you have to see Megan for tickets. Connie means tickets. We should give her a lot, we put like 20, 30, 40.
You gave me 6, so I think I'm gonna need more.
Well, that's good. Last year you sold a lot of tickets.
So Robin, anybody can email you between now and the 18th if they have any questions or concerns, or you can send us an email if you find another area that you need us to know about.
Yes.
And in the meantime, everybody's on tickets.
Sell tickets. Sell tickets, March 18th.
So.
We expect you all there.
I can get you a couple now. We've already. I have to print
Do you
more.
want-
Yes.
You can, I have some in the car.
Or we'll end the meeting and figure it out.
Okay, so
All right.
before we adjourn, John, Rebecca, do you have any questions or anything we can
No, I
help you
think
with?
it's
I hope
great.
you don't feel
Enjoy it.
overwhelmed.
No. Great.
Yeah,
Very happy. You
I
guys
think
did a
you'll
great
find
job.
we really are a nice group.
Absolutely.
I can tell you. We have a wonderful director, we have great staff, so we're thrilled to have you here, so thank you for joining us. And
Thank you.
don't be scared, that I mean, perfect timing to come in for the one fundraiser we have.
That's the biggie, yeah. But
That's
it's
good
fun.
timing on your part. That's fine. Robin, any questions from your end before we adjourn? No? Great, okay, great. Okay, motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
Everybody wants.
Everybody wants to adjourn.
Everybody wants. So Linda.
Okay, so we'll adjourn this meeting at 7:05. Thank you, folks. Have a good evening. You're still being recorded until I tell you otherwise. Be careful what you say.
Are we still recording?
Yes.
All right. Have a good night, Robin.
Thanks, you too, everybody.
Bye.